Hi everyone, I'm Nicole Wakelin with CarGurus. Behind me, the 2016 Volvo XC90. This car is all new this year, and it's been getting a lot of attention. Notably, it is the 2016 North American Truck Utility of the Year. What's new? Pretty much everything. It's a new interior, a new exterior. They've upgraded the infotainment system. It's got all the latest and greatest in safety technology and even a more fuel-efficient engine than it's had in the past. So let's take a look at the XC90 and see why it's been making such a big impression. So there is room for 7 passengers in the XC90. 3 of them can fit in this back seat. And as you can see, there's actually room for an adult back here. My knees aren't hitting the seat, and these are pushed back so an average adult can sit up front. They're comfortable, they're supportive. It's not like they forgot about the second row and focused entirely up front. So it's very comfortable, and it's a very nice place to spend some time. So this is a 3-row SUV, and you're going to need to get people into that back row. To do it, there's just a latch up here. You pull the latch, it tilts it forward, but then you can also slide it forward, so there's enough room for a person to step up. You don't have to turn sideways and squish into the 3rd row. To put it back, slide it, it goes right back into place. If it's cargo instead of people, just as easy. There's a latch. You pull the latch down low, and you have a nice spot to put your cargo. Pull the same latch, pop the headrest up, and you're ready to have people in the back seat again. Sometimes you're going to be carrying cargo, sometimes you're going to be carrying people, so you can reconfigure things pretty easily. This little lid flips open, and there's some straps in here for you to hold cargo. Fold that down. You have an extra little cargo compartment underneath to tuck away things you might not need all the time. If you got this flat and you have your seats up, you have 15.8 cubic feet of space back here. You want a little bit more, push that button, seats go down. Now you have 41.8 cubic feet of space. Still not enough? You can fold that second row down for 85.7 cubic feet of space altogether. They fold back and forth fairly easily. The only drawback is that 3rd row, you can only put it back up by opening the doors and pushing it up. So it would be nice if it had a strap. So it's a little bit more challenging to get that row back in place. And one of the coolest features of this car, especially if you're into superheroes, is the daytime running lights. They look just like Thor's hammer. So what you're looking at is the 9-inch tablet-style screen that is the Sensus infotainment system. This is actually really slick. As you can see, it looks just like a tablet, but it works just like one too. All you have to do is swipe back and forth. And as you can see, it's no harder than using your cell phone. You don't have to jam your fingers. If I want to get to navigation, there's navigation. If you want to go and look at all the different safety features and decide you want to adjust your head-up display, you tap that. Everything is very easy to use, and you can also use this with your gloves. So if you have gloves in your hands, you don't have to worry about taking your gloves off and freezing your fingers. So that you can see how it lights up red to let you know when there's an obstacle in front of the car. And this is someone actually walking around the car right now. Lights up in each quadrant so that you know where that person or that obstacle is. So even if it's not a stationary object, if it's something approaching you, now he's at the back of the car, you can see things light up red to warn you that there's a person or something in your way and exactly where it is. So what you're seeing is how the 360-degree camera works. I've got someone walking around the car to demonstrate. As he goes around the car, you can see exactly where he is, whether he's on the side, when he comes around the back. Now, if someone's walking, it's great to see a pedestrian that you maybe missed, but it will also let you see, say, a really low curb or a fire hydrant or something that's in your way and you're about to back up. You can see exactly where that thing is and even how close you are if you're in a tight parking space to the vehicles that are next to you. So one of the big changes this year is they got rid of the V8 engine. You've only got 2 choices. You can go with a hybrid, or you have 2 different versions of a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Now it sounds like it's a big drawback. You've gone from a V8 to a 4-cylinder. Oh my gosh, does it drive terribly? Not the case at all. This still has plenty of power. You get onto the highway, you hit the accelerator, you're gonna be rewarded, it's gonna move. And even if you're already at high speed and you want a little extra boost to move into heavier traffic or to pass people, it does just fine. Your base engine is a 2-liter 4-cylinder with 250 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. That's turbocharged. Not enough for you? How about the turbocharged and supercharged version? That one will give you 316 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. And if you're looking for the hybrid option, it's a whole new deal. You're gonna get 400 horsepower and 472 pound-feet of torque. So if you're worried about not having a V8, don't be worrying. As far as handling, this is a 7-passenger SUV, and you might think it's going to handle like a big old beast of a truck. It doesn't. It handles like a sedan in every way. It's very smooth, and it is incredibly quiet. Like the start-stop on this, it's so good that when the engine turns off and on, you really don't hear it because you just don't hear the engine in general. It's fantastically done. And if you're taking corners, you really have to take a corner sharp and fast before you're going to get any kind of body roll. It evens out all the bumps. It's extremely smooth. Now, if you want to play around with things a little bit, you can do that. There's a drive mode button here. You can choose Eco, makes everything a little bit less exciting. Comfort, which is your everyday, that's what you're going to drive to the office in. Performance, that's what I would drive to the office in. It tightens everything up, makes everything a little bit more aggressive. You can feel the car, the revs go a little bit higher. And then there's also an off-road mode and an individual setting. So if you want to tweak those to be specific just to what you like to drive, you can do that too. Included in the safety features that you'll find are lane keep assist and roadside information. So lane keep assist is pretty much, it sees the sides of the road. So I can take my hands off of the steering wheel and it will gently nudge me back in the right direction. Only so many times before it says, put your hands back on the wheel. So you can't just let it entirely drive itself. The roadside information, it identifies road signs and it will give you information about the speed limit. In fact, on the head-up display right now, I can see the speed limit here is 35 miles an hour. If I go too fast, if I go 40 or 45, it will blink to warn you when you're going too fast, and you can set that even in the settings. If you want it to blink when you're 5 miles over, if you want it to blink when you're 10 miles over, if you don't want it to blink at all and rather not know, you can set it that way too. That all appears in the head-up display, so it's right there. It's not something you have to shift your eyes away from the road to see. Another thing that'll show up in your head-up display is your navigation. It shows on your screen, it shows on your instrument cluster, and in the head-up. So it's nice that you have all these different areas where you can see it. You're not forced to look away. It's right there and it's very clear. It makes it a little easier to keep track of where you're going. Pricing on the XC90 starts as low as $43,950 for the base model, the Momentum, which is a 5-passenger with front-wheel drive. It tops out with the hybrid at $68,100. What we're driving is the Inscription, $66,705. So Volvos are known for being safe cars, and the XC90 is no exception. It hasn't been government crash tested yet, but the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety has tested it. They gave it its top ranking of good in every single category, and it is a top safety pick plus, which basically means you can't rate it any higher than that. Up front, the seats are unbelievable. This is an incredibly comfortable car. You have a bazillion adjustments. You can adjust the bolstering on the sides. You can adjust the lumbar settings so that you're sitting at attention or you're squishing all the way back. And there's a little thigh support, which if you're particularly tall or particularly short is great. So you can give enough support to your leg, or you can move it back far enough that it doesn't feel like it's cutting in under your kneecap if you're someone shorter. It's a very comfortable and incredibly beautiful interior. So there are quite a few different options packages you can get to make your Volvo even fancier, and one of the ones that this particular car, the T6 all-wheel drive Inscription that we're driving today, comes with the Bowers and Wilkins sound system. This is a $2,500 option. You have to really like music to pay that much for an audio system, but it does sound incredible. It has a very concert hall-like vibe to it, and there are speakers all over the place, and they're beautiful. They have these nice little perforated covers. There's even one on the dashboard that's shaped like a little pod. It gives it a nice little visual punch, and you're paying $2,500 for a sound system. It should look kind of cool too. So despite the fact that the car has this really fancy Sensus infotainment system with a big 9-inch touchscreen, which I love, there's one tech feature that's lacking: USB ports. There's one in the whole car. So you have to share. The front passengers have to share. The guys in back, you're totally out of luck. So I'm really disappointed that with all the things they thought, there's only one USB outlet. It really could use more given how much people need that sort of thing today. One of the things that happens when you have a large SUV is those in the back are kind of in a cave. It's dark, you can't help it, but you have a panoramic sunroof on this car. It's beautiful. It has a screen that you can close it or open the screen up just for light, or you can actually open it up and let some air in too. This is always nice on a larger car because it really opens up the interior. No matter how big cars are, when they have that just solid roof, it makes them kind of a cave. This one is nice and bright and open. So you drive forward. Now I still have my hands on the wheel because now I am still definitely in control. And here it tells me that it found a spot, but that it needs me to keep pulling forward because it's going to sort of line itself up. Still in control of everything for the moment. And now, so I tell it I want to parallel park the car. And then I put the car in reverse. All right, now it gives me my camera view of everything. And it tells you what to do at the top of the screen. Reverse slowly and be prepared to brake. So my hands aren't on the steering wheel, but my foot is on the brake, and you can see the steering wheel is going to spin, and I can see what the car is doing in the 360-degree camera. Then it gives you a little meter. You can see at the top, it's sort of telling you how close you are. Be prepared to brake. It knows at some point it's going to need to readjust things to get me into this spot, and it will also make a tone, and you can see the little yellow warning light coming up there. And it says stop and put it in forward gear. So now I'm going to put it in drive. The steering wheel is going to readjust. And it does the same thing. It tells me to pull forward and see how short the blue bar is because I don't have a very long distance to go now because I'm halfway in the spot. And we're very close. You get lots of sensors telling you to be careful. And then it says to put it in forward one more time and adjust things a little bit more. Parking completed successfully. We are in a parking space and I didn't use the steering wheel. So Volvo wanted to do something special when they introduced the new XC90. They wanted to create a flagship for their brand, and they've succeeded in doing just that. It showcases the design and styling that they'll have going forward, has all the latest in safety tech, great infotainment system, and a more fuel-efficient engine than it's had in the past, all wrapped in a very luxurious package for a 7-passenger SUV. If you're looking for that kind of car, if you're looking for a luxury SUV that carries a lot of people, the XC90 is worth your attention. Click the link below and you can read my full review over at CarGurus.com and click subscribe to see more great videos.